Welcome to On The Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Good, Dave.
A huge weekend of racing, mate, with features in every state this weekend. Long weekend of racing too, and we're back at Flemington this week for two big Group 1s. And firstly, the Newmarket Handicap over 1200 metres down the famous Flemington Straight. And who do you like in the Newmarket, Lenny?
Ripping race as always, Dave. Pretty even race, but my gut's telling me some already.
Yep.
She's probably meeting Sham Express worse off at the weights. A couple of kilos. Yep. Lankan Rupee's been flying, but this mare, to my eyes, she was a ripping run in the not in the Oakland Plate, the Lightning Stakes. Yep. She was off the bit a long way out, got buffeted a bit, and still kept coming. I thought she's screaming out for 1200 down the straight.
Yep.
She's unbeaten second up, and more importantly, she loves a straight here. She's a high-class mare who demolished her rivals in the Moor, and the buffering was 4 lengths adrift from her.
Yeah.
She repeats that here. That was second up. She's doing it again here. I think she's peaking. Mick Price is flying. She's drawn the 9, which is probably the perfect gate. She'll be out in the middle.
Yeah.
And $4.80 for mine. I think she's on the bit.
Yep, she's definitely one of the leading chances. A really competitive race here. A lot of pace drawn to the outside. But I think every horse really does get their chance to win it. I think the horse that's really well weighted in this race is Sham Express, personally. He won this race last year with 51.5 and is up to 56 kilos this year. He carried 2 kilos more than Samaretti when they met in the Lightning and beat her home, and now he meets her at level weights. He's beat Moment of Change twice down the Flemington 1200 and meets him 2 kilos better as well. So his Flemington 1200 metre form is outstanding. Really should have 3 wins from 4 starts at that distance and course, because he was slaughtered a bit by Ollie in the Spring Classic last year against buffering. I really would have liked him to have drawn a touch better in midfield rather than barrier 3, but that's a minor concern. I think he'll get a good smother for the first 600. He'll be powering home over the last 200, and yeah, I think if you get $5 or better, I think he's on the bid for Saturday. The second Group 1 of the day is the Weight for Age Australian Cup over 2,000 metres, and quite an interesting race here, Lenny, with many of the runners coming into the race second up. So what do you like, mate?
It's an interesting battle for mine. You got last year's Melbourne Cup winner and the upcoming 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I think it will be a fairly genuine race with Morayan and Seamus Award both going forward.
Star Rolling.
Yeah, Star Rolling as well. I think this will play perfectly into Fiorente's hands. He'll probably settle back, and for mine, he was flying home in the Cox Plate. His training would have been sort of tapered for the Melbourne Cup, and he was still good enough to get that close in the Cox Plate. I think the horse is a genuine star, really. He had no right to win at Caulfield. They didn't go that hard. I mean, it just was his will to win that got him there. And I think under the weight for age conditions, they probably suit him here. Yep. And he's on the bib for mine, and I think he's pretty short, so just mould him up and you'll be in front.
Yep, got to multi him up. I think the key to the race is the pace in this race. If Seamus Award leads unchallenged, then I think it's all over and he just wins it. He was very impressive last week winning the Australian Guineas, and the key seems to be leading with him, where he can bowl along and give a serious kick for home about the 400. But this race was dominated by 3-year-olds last year, so the history is there for the 3-year-olds. Star Rolling did lead last start in that race, in Fiorente's race, so if he wants to take up the lead, he may just sit off them Seamus Award and get a cover for a bit of the race. But I still think he can win it. I still think he's got a good kick. He's beaten Fiorente in the Cox Plate. He does meet him slightly worse off on the weight for age weights, but it's autumn now, so he should have improved. I like Seamus Award in this. I think Fiorente's a little bit skinny for mine. His 3rd run into this campaign, Seamus Award, so I think that run will actually bring him on from last week as well. So yeah, he's on the bid for mine. We go to Warwick Farm this week for another Group 1 this Saturday. It's been raining in Sydney, slow 7 at the moment, but we've got the Group 1 weight for age Chipping Norton Stakes over 1,600 metres, mate. And who do you like in the Chipping Norton?
I think the best two horses in the race are It's a Done Deal and Boban.
Yep.
Boban has had 2 failures on a wet track, but was at his first start, and in Queensland Guineas when he was blocked for a run most of the way down the straight. He's a different horse now. For mine, he's third up going into this. He hasn't been overly impressive like his first 2 runs, but I think they've just taken their time. He's getting to his pet distance now at a mile.
Yep.
I didn't mind his run last start, actually. I think it's a done deal is first up, whereas this horse, which has got similar ability, probably it's a done deal, a better horse over 2,000. It's just going to be a bit tough of him being first up while Boban's got his third run in this this prep. So I'll be in Boban's corner, and he's on the bit for mine, Dave.
Yep. You got a love-hate relationship with Boban so far.
Yeah, I've never caught him.
You see the return of the superstar High Shap colt here. It's a done deal, and I think he can possibly go through this autumn unbeaten. I just think he wins against this bunch. I can't see him getting beat. He's $1.90. I think he's on the bit, and he's a moral. Stable news, Lenny. What do you like for stable news this week? You've had a busy week, haven't you?
Busy couple of weeks. Got a nice Blackfriars colt from Perth Magic Million sales.
Yep.
And then you got a Magnus colt from Melbourne sales, and secured 2 really lovely fillies, an Omaha filly.
Yep.
And a Doomsday filly out of a Group 1 Oaks winner. I thought they were great value fillies. We're really happy to get them.
Yep. I was just going to mention that as well. No runners for us this week, but exciting news with the 2 purchases of these outstanding bred fillies. Colts were hard to buy. Most of the good ones were going for over 200,000. But these 2 fillies had outstanding pedigrees, and both of them are really, we think they're both potential Oaks type fillies, aren't they, mate? So the first, an El Maher filly out of a Canny Lad mare. This filly is related to the Group 1 VRC Derby winner in Blackfriars, the Group 1 South Australian Oaks winner in La Rocca, and the Group 2 Wakeful Stakes winner in Rocca, and the Group 2 Tarlick Stakes winner in Manton. So you can understand why we're so excited, mate. And you found this filly for us. So she'll be trained by Wes Hunter at Mornington, and you can get a 10% share in this filly for $49.50, and at that price you won't last long, mate. That covers all the cost, breaking, insurance, and all the other costs of the sale.
It's not often, Dave, that you can buy into a pedigree like that, where her full sister is stakes placed.
Yeah, that's right.
And her full brother has won 4 races. So the cross has worked.
Yeah.
And Omaha fillies on a whole are pretty good.
Yeah.
They generally go better than the colts. So.
They're very reliable. And second but not least is the filly by Doomsday out of a Group 1 Queensland Oaks winner in Monmeeke, who was trained by Gerald Ryan, and she also won a Group 3 Winter Stakes. She was outstanding, this Monmeeke. She was the best walking filly of the entire sale, and you just thought she was a cracker for the way she walked.
Yes, a beautiful walking filly, and the stud actually confirmed that afterwards. That they came up to us and they really loved her. They thought she was the best walking filly that they've ever taken to the sales.
Yeah, and we knew when we saw her earlier in the sale, she was late in the sale, that we weren't going to go home without her. She had to be in the Dream stable. She's also related to Fulham By, who won a Group 1 Champagne Stakes and a Group 2 Top and Slipper Trial, and was second in the AJC size produce as well. So she will be trained by Matt Laurie at Mornington, and you can get a 10% share in this filly for $5,500. So outstanding value for these 2 fillies that are potentially, we think, can win, run in Oaks and potentially win Oaks not this year obviously, but the following year. So outstanding work by you, Lenny, over the last couple of weeks, and we thank you for that. And I know you've really worked hard, and by the way that you haven't shaved today on the bit, you haven't had much time.
We're at Geelong today for entirely better.
That's right. So best on breeding, Lenny. What's your best on breeding for the week?
Going with Wes Hunter's horse, race 9, Smokin' Joey.
Yep.
Smokin' Joey never went through the sales, and neither did any of his full siblings or half siblings.
Yeah.
His mare Delsing has been a really good producer. Smokin' Joey is a full brother to our Smoking Joe, who won over 1.6 million in stakes, and also the multiple stakes placed Gallant Lady. Blazing Sword, who's the dam sire of Delsing, has crossed really well in Costa del Lago, obviously producing these 3 stakes horses, but also Ciccone. So it's been a great cross.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's a great chance in the last. Good luck to you, Wes, in the last at Flemington. One value bet for me this week. Flemington Race 2, number 1, Thermal Current. Has a strong form line through not listening to me, this horse. He looks well placed in this race. He's slightly down in grade. He is carrying top weight. He's got a very consistent record, placed 7 times out of 9 starts. He's always raced in the best of company. He ran 5th in the Coolmore Stakes down the straight, the Group 1 for 3-year-olds in the spring. He's $8.50 fixed odds. I just think he looks outstanding value each way in that race. So Thermal Current for me. On the bit special, Lenny. Who's your on the bit special for this week?
On the bit for mine is race 4, number 2 in Sydney at Warwick Farm, Catkins. I think this is a very good mare in the making.
Yep.
She's drawn beautifully in 6. She'll get a lovely run just outside Any Day Will Do, who'll probably lead the race.
Yeah.
She resumed in fine style in the Group 2 Breeders' Classic, and she comes here with a great second up record, but more importantly, she loves a wet.
Yeah.
So if it is wet, it's going to suit her down to the ground, and I think this mare is a real winner. She's won 50% of her races, and I think she's only just starting to peak now, and there's $260 on offer about her, and I'll be taking it. She's on the bit for mine.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. She was scratched last week. She was in the same race as Red Tracer and the Waller stable. They're trained in the same stable. They put her into this week. I think she's on the bid too. She was nearly my on the bid special, but I went for Flemington Race 5, number 2 Solicit. I think she's the best 3-year-old filly in Melbourne by lengths. She'll dispatch this lot with contempt, and she's one for your multis. I think Catkins and Solicit are 2, multis for the weekend, so they're both on the bit. Off the bit, who are you laying for the weekend, Lenny?
Laying race 6, number 8 at Warwick Farm, White Sage.
Yes.
Just basically looking at the speed map, I just can't see where he's going to slot in from the wide gate. There's an abundance of speed drawn inside with El Rocker, How Much You Love Me, Spur Tonic and Terra Vista.
Yeah.
All going to go forward. So the normal pattern is to sort of go forward, but I'd say you're going to have to go back.
Yeah.
And Warwick Farm for the first time. So I just can't see with even luck, without having even luck, how this horse is going to win. So off the bit for mine at $3.40.
I'm off the bit with one at Warwick Farm as well, race 7, number 1 Guelph. I didn't think she went well enough first up, and she's coming into this race as a $2 favourite on Saturday. She's drawn the outside barrier, so she's another one that'll have to go back from the start and give them all a start. And I really think there's a few fillies in this with a lot of upside, so I think she's a very big risk at the $2.40 this week, so she's off the bit for mine. So huge weekend. There's Adelaide Cup Day on Monday. You're going to Adelaide, aren't you?
Adelaide sales, yeah.
So yeah, we're Flemington this Saturday. There's Sydney. There's races everywhere, so just a punting bonanza this weekend, mate. So good luck.
Malaguera and Sires.
Oh, you have too, yeah.
Got to add, so.
Good luck to Malaguera, and they'd entirely better run third today, didn't you, at Geelong? So we've had a very busy week with the sales and the racing, and we'll be up again this weekend at the races. So good luck and happy punting. See you later.
Cheers.